What comes to mind when you hear the words Victoria's Secret? Maybe you start imagining gorgeous models in bikinis, dazzling fashion shows, or irresistible products. However, behind all that glitz and glamour, there is a dark side to this well-known lingerie brand and its owner, Lex Wexner. This video is about the dark world of Lex Wexner. Leslie Wexner, the Ohio-born billionaire mastermind behind Elle brands, especially Victoria's Secret. Wexner purchased the lingerie brand in 1982 from its founder, Roy Raymond, for a mere $1 million. Impressively, he turned it into a billion-dollar company within just a decade. They became famous for their fancy fashion shows with Victoria's Secret angels and those glamorous lingerie catalogs. People even called Wexner a genius. In 2018, Victoria's Secret was making a whopping $8.1 billion. But even this sexy giant had a bit of a struggle keeping up with the times of social media and the Me Too movement. Fast forward to 2020. And after nearly 60 years running the show, Wexner decided to retire as the CEO and chairman at Elle Brands, breaking all ties with the company. The story seems pretty straightforward, right? But what if I tell you that just a year ago, Hulu released a 3-part documentary series titled Victoria's Secret: Angels and Demons? The series delves into the rise and fall of the iconic lingerie brand and its former billionaire CEO, Lex Wexner. In this series, there's a shocking revelation about Wexner's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein and Lex Wexner. For those who don't know, Epstein was a wealthy financier and convicted offender notorious for his involvement in high-profile legal cases related to sex trafficking. Epstein became infamous for his exploitative activities with many young girls. Not only did he victimize minors, but he also had close ties with many influential figures. Rumors have it that these famous billionaires knew everything about Epstein's hidden crimes, and most of them were even a part of it to satisfy their personal sexual desires. One victim even stated that she was being passed around like a platter of fruit among his powerful associates. The names of Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, and Bill Gates have frequently been in the limelight of the media and the public for having close friendships with Epstein. However, not many were aware of his behind-the-scenes dealings with Lex Wexner until Epstein's arrest in 2019. Epstein died in prison that same year, officially ruled a suicide. Yet, there are many people who believe he was murdered to hide all the dirty stuff he did on his private island, particularly to hide his connections with the big shots. Which can be true, looking at all his frequent encounters with powerful people. But his relationship with Wexner does not seem to be like any ordinary one. There are rumors that the two were romantically involved. However, both men have denied rumors that they ever engaged in a romantic or sexual relationship. But seriously, how do people even jump to such wild assumptions? Let me give you the lowdown on what was really happening between them. It all started when Epstein and Wexner were introduced in the mid to late 80s by their mutual friend, Robert Meister. They instantly became close allies. By 2003, Epstein told Vanity Fair that he shared a special bond with Wexner. People have said it's like we have one brain between two of us. Each has a side. In Victoria's Secret: Angels and Demons, the author Michael Gross shares that Epstein had a talent for worming his way into the lives of older, successful Jewish men. Additionally, according to a former business partner, Epstein was extraordinarily mesmerizing and could convince anything of anybody. This could clarify how the ex-prep school math teacher who became a private investment advisor ended up with Wexner as the top client for his financial firm, even though he didn't have much experience. But the most suspicious thing about their relationship was that in 1991, Epstein became Wexner's power of attorney, giving him total control over everything Wexner owned. For nearly 2 decades, Epstein played the role of Wexner's personal money manager. He could write checks, make property deals, and even borrow money on Wexner's behalf. Ellison says in the documentary, there wasn't a part of Wexner's empire that Epstein didn't have access to and didn't have some ability to control. Now, just think about it. Who in their right mind would hand over control of their entire fortune to a virtual stranger? That really says a lot about how close they must have been. But the question remains, why would Wexner give Epstein so much control over his life? Well, that's the billion-dollar question that nobody, not even reporters, former employees, or Wexner's friends, can really answer. While Wexner says it was just a business move, the show Victoria's Secret: Angels and Demons suggests that Epstein was also deeply involved in Wexner's personal affairs. Now, if you're thinking that Wexner making Epstein a part of his entire wealth is the only reason people are side-eyeing their relationship, you might want to rethink that one. Actually, Epstein also hosted Wexner's 59th birthday party, acting as the MC. What's even more suspicious is that he even convinced him to cut ties with people he didn't like, including Wexner's own mother. The foundation sued sued Wexner's mother, Bella, to stop her from taking Epstein's place on the charity board. Epstein justified it, saying, "If my client needs protecting, sometimes even from his own family, then it's often better that people hate me, not the client." Victoria's Secret's model's scandal and connection to Jeffrey Epstein. It is clear that Epstein wasn't officially associated with Victoria's Secret. However, in the 1990s, he played a shady game and pretended to be a recruiter for the brand, all to get closer to young models. And we're not making this claim without reason. Back in 1997, a 27-year-old model named Alicia Arden found herself caught in Epstein's trap. Alicia shared that Epstein invited her to a hotel room, supposedly to discuss a Victoria's Secret catalog opportunity. Instead, he crossed all boundaries, grabbing and trying to undress her. Something similar happened with another Italian model in 2004. She shared her unsettling experience of a so-called audition at Epstein's New York mansion. Epstein claimed he could land her a gig at Victoria's Secret if she gave him a massage on his naked body. Now, it's pretty evident that he used to portray himself as the backdoor to get girls into Victoria's Secret. According to a former New York-based model agent, not all the girls sent to him got jobs, but a lot of them did. Sarah Ransom, survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking, recalls arriving at Epstein's private island and revealed how Espetin gave the girls Victoria's Secret bikinis and nightwear. Yes, all of the outfits there were clothes that were provided on the island by Jeffrey Epstein, which were all Victoria's Secret clothing, bikinis, nightwear. It's quite intriguing how all these pieces are connecting with each other. It makes you wonder, Epstein was consistently providing his victims with bikinis and specifically Victoria's Secret bikins, and Wexner had no clue about this. What is the role of Lex Wexner in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking? The truth is, nobody has a clear answer to this question, and there's no strong evidence suggesting Wexner was part of Epstein's illicit activities. However, when Wexner was questioned about why he continued to do business with Epstein despite numerous red flags, he didn't openly address these questions in public. Instead, he wrote in his Tuesday letter, "When Mr. Epstein was my personal money manager, he was involved in many aspects of my financial life, but let me assure you that I was never aware of the illegal activity charged in the indictment." He also added, "I would never have guessed that a person I employed more than a decade ago could have caused such pain to so many people. My heart goes out to each and every person who has been hurt." Now, here's the thing to notice. Wexner chose not to directly talk about what exactly Epstein's crimes were. It's like he wanted to keep himself away from any suspicion or trouble. Clever move, right? But people believe Epstein's questionable wealth mainly came from Wexner's fortune, seemingly giving him the go-ahead to exploit young, underage girls. And we can't forget the $20 million New York City townhouse Wexner sold to Epstein, which is rumored to have become a prime location for his alleged abuse. After all this, Wexner is still saying that he had zero clue about Epstein's crimes. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? What do you think? Do you believe Wexner is hiding something big from the world? Let us know in the comments below, and click on the videos on your screen for more on the lifestyles of the rich. Until next time.